Good day, and welcome to Trusting God at All Times, a daily devotion of Peakland United Methodist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia. I'm John Vest, and I'm the pastor of the church. One of the most well-known stories of Jesus is the feeding of the 5,000. Appearing in the Bible 4 times, the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all record it. Jesus has heard about the death of his cousin John the Baptizer, and the story reads, "After this, Jesus went to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. And a multitude followed him, because they saw the signs which he did on those who were diseased. Jesus went up on the mountain, and there sat down with his disciples. Now the Passover, the feast of the Jews, was at hand. Lifting up his eyes then, and seeing that a multitude was coming to him, Jesus said to Philip, 'How are we to buy bread so that these people may eat?' This he said to test him, for he himself knew what he'd do. Philip answered him, 200 denarii would not buy enough bread for each of them to get just a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said to him, 'There's a lad here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but what are they among so many?' Jesus said, 'Make the people sit down.' Now there was much grass in the place, so the men sat down, in number about 5,000. Jesus then took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed them to those who were seated, so also the fish, as much as they wanted. And when they'd eaten their fill, he told his disciples, 'Gather up the fragments left over, that nothing may be lost.' So they gathered them up, and filled 12 baskets with fragments from the 5 barley loaves left by those who had eaten. When the people saw the sign which he had done, they said, 'This is indeed the prophet who is to come into the world.'" My friend, there's much to be gleaned from this story. Notice how this became a teachable moment for Jesus. He asked Philip how they were going to buy food to feed everyone in order to test Philip. Notice how Peter's younger brother Andrew had apparently been hanging out with the children and not the adults. A child ends up leading in this story. Notice how Jesus gave thanks for what little food they had. And notice how that thankfulness led to everyone having plenty to eat. There are 2 things I'd like to ask you to ponder today. First, was the miracle the mysterious creation of more food by the mighty hand of God? Or was the miracle people being so attuned to the presence of God that they felt compelled to add to the initial offering of 5 loaves and 2 fish? I have always held on to the belief that this was a mighty and mysterious act of God, but over the years, I also have seen hearts changed from selfishness to generosity, and that too is a miracle. And second, the whole story became possible because one boy, not an adult, but someone Andrew describes as a lad, one boy was willing to give up his lunch. You just never know how your own simple act of service will make a difference in this world. Apparently, it was quite a lunch break. And I hope you and I can have such a break. If not today, then in the days ahead. So let it be. Amen.